Everyone, this is AdmiralChonga, and this is another game of Heroes of the Storm. I am going to be casting this wonderful game. That is E.T.C on a horse, or some sort of mixture of the two. That is interesting. So, today we're playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is the newest map from Blizzard Entertainment. Very excited to watch this game. Man, that architecture is super cool. I'm not really sure what that is, but that is very, very cool, that architecture. I didn't actually notice this till recently, but if you look at the smoke coming out of the vents on Tomb of the Spider Queen, there's actually like skulls with like gaping mouths. They're just like these lost souls coming out of the vents in Tomb of the Spider Queen. Very, very cool. Did not notice that before. But yeah, this map is actually so some cool things about this map is that if you look at the rush distance between lanes, I guess the distance in general between lanes, it's very short actually. You can transition from top to middle, from middle to bottom. All three lanes you can get around very rapidly, making this map an excellent choice for gank camps. It's also, there's not that many camps on this map, you know? Dragon Shrine had, 2 camps on each side, then there was a camp on the middle. Very cool skin. That is actually Kerrigan, I believe. Wow, getting taken out very quickly by blue team. Awesome pick by them, Kerrigan. That's hair reminds me of Marge Simpson from The Simpsons, actually. I don't know what other show she might star in, but yeah. This game is by professionals, I believe. I got this from Gosu Gamers on the internet, so I believe the level of play should be fairly competitive. I'm looking forward to seeing what amazing builds and talents people on each side are going. It looks like Anub'arak's going the Scarab build most likely. Conjurer's Pursuit, definitely a more popular trait talent point to choose, definitely for Tassadar and Uther. What I'm curious to see if Tassadar will do promote, because in the previous game he played, he actually chose the promote ability, which makes a creep significantly stronger. You can see taking a little bit of damage there. Muradin's actually a tank I think is a really awesome pick, because he has the ability to kind of move around with his leap ability. Not sure if that's what it's actually called, but that ability to hop over obstacles, enemies that are possibly blocking you, I think is a very strong ability. Seeing a turn in from red team. Very good. You need to get 50 in order to summon your web weavers, which are basically super creeps. They push all 3 lanes, and they summon other minions, and they cast a spell that does a medium amount of damage in a straight-ish line. So definitely a powerful objective, not necessarily the strongest of all the maps of objective-wise, but definitely a strong one because of its ability to help push a lane. So right now we're just seeing both teams kind of gathering their gems. The gems drop off these critters here. These they look like mechanical spiders of some sort, but they're most likely, lore-wise, some sort of guardian of the tomb of some sort. Looking like both teams are kind of just doing their own thing. We might see a conflict happen down here. E.T.C, one of the more unique heroes. His story is basically, he's based off of the rock band, the Blizzard rock band, which is pretty cool. E.T.C is also a card in Hearthstone, where I think you get a Chord card, which is like a spell. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but yeah, E.T.C showing up in more than one Blizzard game, very cool. I don't know if you'll play Hearthstone, but that game is pretty fun to play. Oh, Muradin, there's that leap ability I was talking about. Wow, Kael actually taking a decent amount of damage using his verdant sphere, telling them that their world is upside down. It's pretty funny. Yeah, so verdant spheres is one of Kael's, basically, I think his like trait. I'm not sure what it's called, but your ability that comes outside of your basic abilities. Basically, you can modify each of his spells to make them do a different thing, and that stun he just did, he made it so that he can stun up to 3 targets instead of 1, which is pretty cool. Flame Strike, another one of Kael's abilities, super awesome ability, especially in the Frozen Throne. I don't know about you, but like in Frozen Throne, Kael was just so cool. Like I remember we had to use Flame Strike to like fight your way through some trees. I think on like one of the first levels. So cool, like burning down trees with Flame Strike. That was super cool. And then you had to grab the watchtowers. The watchtowers were pretty sweet. They gave you like huge radius. And what was really cool about the Frozen Throne was actually you had to grab once you grabbed those watchtowers and completed that mission, the map like zoomed out more in the next mission, and you were able to like basically keep playing on that same area for the next mission. I thought that was so cool. Oh man, and then when the undead came and like totally wrecked you that next mission, oh man, and you lost like half of your like available like military units. You had footmen and like archers. I think you also had priests, I'm not sure, but like you lost your mortars and your riflemen and like all that stuff. I forget the name of the guy who took it. Like Lord Galbatrix or something? No, I think that's from Dragon, that movie, like the dragons. Aragon, yeah, I think Galbatrix is from Aragon. I could be wrong though. I forget his name. It was probably Galbatorix. I forget which one. But anyways, that was a super cool mission, and the Naga came to help, which is super cool. I'm actually a huge fan of the Naga. I think their storyline is cool. The elves and their Moonwell going underwater. But you know what's interesting is we haven't seen any Naga in Heroes of the Storm yet. I'm surprised by that. I think we might be seeing a Naga hero next, but we haven't seen very many StarCraft heroes either. And I think specifically we're missing a StarCraft tank, which would be a super cool hero to see. I want to see like Phoenix Zealot, and then like once he dies, he does like a Tyrael kind of thing where he turns into the Dragoon. I think that's pretty cool because, I mean, honestly, Phoenix is like one of the coolest heroes in my opinion. Actually, Zeratul is actually really cool. He used to say some really cool things from Brood War, like, I forget, I think the Judicator was like, we need to avenge like our brethren, and like Zeratul was like, only if we learn from their mistakes can we live to avenge them. And oh man, that was just like nerd chill moment. I was like, oh man, this game is so cool. And that was, I think that was like the third mission, Protoss. Like I knew that the Protoss race was awesome after that mission. Man, StarCraft Brood War campaign, or I think it was even original StarCraft. No, I think that was Brood War actually. But that campaign mixed with the Warcraft 3 campaign, both those campaigns, super awesome. It's so amazing to get to see like everyone fight all together after seeing like their individual storylines. Sylvanas' story is actually really, really awesome. If you played World of Warcraft, you kind of see it continue to progress. Like, I think in not the latest expansion, oh, not even 2 ago, it was Wrath of the Lich King. Sylvanas finally gets her chance to kill Arthas, and yeah, spoiler alert, some really cool stuff goes on with Sylvanas, and after Arthas is finally defeated in the Frozen Throne, which looks very different from what I imagined. Because like in the Frozen Throne, like Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, you kind of see this spire with like chains hanging down, but in the actual game, it's very much made out of like some sort of black metal, a lot of black metal going around, kind of like E.T.C. Just kidding. It's like his citadel is very dark and very. Actually, it's pretty awesome. Highly recommend the raids in Wrath of the Lich King. Looks like the red team finally are able to get the red web weavers out. As you can see, all 3 lanes have summoned these incredible swirling masses of spiders that turn into a larger spider. This is a Nerubian web weaver. Summons 2 lesser ones, very much undead though, as you can see from this rottingness going on here. That purple swirly animation, that is the slow animation from Anub'arak. Let's go check out level 10, since level 10 was recently reached. Looks like Malfurion chose Tranquility, Anub'arak opting for Locust Swarm. Jaina, Water Elemental, a common choice. Missing a fight, let's go ahead and pay attention to this briefly. Some push is going on. Looks like I grabbed the Merc Camps. Merc Camps disappear when an objective is seized on this map. So Red Team did an excellent job of grabbing that before they disappeared. Since all 3 objectives, aka the web weavers, are gone, Merc Camps have come back. Looks like Red Team didn't do too much of a push. They were able to get rid of the towers on 2 of the lanes, but other than that, not much happened. E.T.C going forward a bit. So, where were we? Phoenix chosen by Kael'thas. I think there's a lot of people are still figuring out, like, is Pyroblast or is Phoenix the correct choice for Kael'thas? So this is fairly high level play here. So, you know, Phoenix on this map with this composition appears to be, in Biceps' opinion, the superior choice. But it is still to be seen which scenarios each ultimate is better for. E.T.C. Mosh Pit, I'm usually seeing that a lot when I play. I'm definitely not as good as these players, but I do see Mosh Pit a lot in where I'm at. Avatar by Muradin, pretty common. Archon by Tassadar. That's basically what I see. Force Wall definitely good for chase comps for teams with a lot of that unit's actually promoted. That's really cool. Teams with a lot of like diving and such when they don't want to, they're in to retreat. Force Wall can be very good. Also for securing retreats. Looks like Red Team got another Web Weaver release. Let's see if they're going to be able to do more with it this time than they were able to last time. Kerrigan doing a nice pull. Very cool how her attacks have changed to her animation. She's like I think Vampire Kerrigan is what that skin is. It's really cool. Lumberjack Uther. Also a cool skin. I'm not sure what's going on with the book in Uther's hand. If anyone knows, please let me know. I'm not sure why a Lumberjack would have such a mystical book. Maybe it's a reference to something. Maybe there's like a book of some sort. Divine Shield was actually chosen by Uther. Definitely a good pick, in my opinion. The thing about Divine Storm is that Uther becomes very vulnerable having to get that close to many heroes, and he's not very equipped to escape. He used to have Sprint, but he no longer has Sprint, so he's actually, in my opinion, a more vulnerable hero. He does, however, at level 20, get the option to choose Redemption, allowing him to come back to life after he has fallen. I think that is the best talent by far. I think I've seen someone choose Storm Shield before, but I definitely think Redemption is the much better choice. Storm Shield only lasting, I believe, 3 seconds, not nearly as powerful as Uther coming back to life. Maelstrom from Kerrigan, doing a lot of AoE damage, and Wailing Arrow, of course, by Sylvanas. Possession being by far the choice that is avoided at all costs. Sylvanas poking in here, doing some damage, and then retreating. Red Team, both teams playing very carefully. So far, we've only seen 1 death from both sides, so this game is very, very close, very tight. Not sure who is going to come ahead here. Looks like Malfurion is trying to get a turn in. Red denying it by just staying around the corner. Very, very passive stuff going on here right now. Muradin's story is pretty cool. So I read a little bit of the story between Arthas and Muradin in, I forget the book. I think it was just called, like, Arthas Rise of the Lich King. It was a book by, not entirely sure the author's name. I think it was, like, Christy Golden. I could be wrong. Probably am. But Muradin actually trained Arthas, and they were pretty close. Looks like blue team finally getting their Web Weavers, Trail of Spiders following as it comes down. That fort actually taken out by these promoted creeps. Looks like Tassadar went ahead and got promote, which activate to give target allied lane minion plus 300% health and 100% damage for 30 seconds. Has 2 charges. Tassadar grabbing that, allowing him some excellent pushability, and it seemed to have paid off by giving the red team another fort. Blue team using this opportunity of having the Web Weavers on their side to go ahead and do a push. Wow, Kerrigan just like sweeping everyone up and just impaling them with the graveyard fence spokes. I'm not really sure what's called. Blue team moving up again to do some serious damage on the red team. Ooh, looks like Sylvanas is taken out by the blue team. An excellent pick for them. Red team moving back up and trying to defend, but it's 4v5 and they cannot engage. So they are doing their best to harass and poke without taking any losses. There's Muradin's excellent leap ability to get out of Jaina's way, and this is a nice victory for blue team. Another interesting progression that's going on is, you know what? That's about it. That right there. So Muradin and Arthas were actually very close, and then in the end, near the end of Warcraft 2 Reign of Chaos, Arthas actually goes to Northrend, where he actually runs into Muradin again, and Muradin's like, "Oh, you saved me," and well, if you haven't played it, you should definitely do it. But basically, I didn't realize that they'd known each other beforehand, and they actually had spent quite a bit of time together because Muradin was quite the skilled fighter, and then Arthas was not. But thanks to Muradin, he trained him well. I wonder if you take Arthas and Muradin on the same team, if they talk to each other. They probably do. Looks like blue team is mounting up another attack. Sylvanas up here, getting rid of the blue Web Weaver, which is an excellent decision, in my opinion, because the way I feel the best to deal with web weavers is to clear out the one that's not being pushed with the team first. So there's usually two, right? If everyone's gathered around one, then there are two other ones that are totally exposed. So in this situation, I think red team did it very well. They took out the top one, then they took out the middle one. But now we're going to see a big fight. Anub'arak taken out from the blue team. That gives red team a little bit of an advantage. Uther using his ultimate on Kerrigan, saving her. Malfurion not able to stay alive. It looks like E.T.C is being focused on next. Tassadar taken out from blue team. Kerrigan is barely alive, but she is still up. Tassadar being the only one to fall from red team. Red team looks like they did an excellent job in that engagement. Blue team, a little bit in trouble here. Seems like actually the game is fairly close. Red team really needed that fight because blue team is starting to secure an advantage, but it looks like red team is going to push their advantage while they still have more team members alive. Right now, number of forts lost is just about even. Both team only having one fort left, but these two front towers have been taken out on this side. Also, bottom, grabbing these siege giants, or these, I guess just siege camp, these siege mercenaries, actually laying siege to this keep wonderfully. Uther coming back finally, and Tassadar to deal with that blue team grabbing their bruiser camp, which will help push the mid lane. Looks like Sylvanas is clearing out the bottom, everyone going ahead and clearing, getting ready for the next big engagement. So Kerrigan's story, I think Kerrigan's story is pretty cool. Kerrigan used to be a ghost. I remember, pretty tragic, but I'm not really sure why Mengs got rid of her, honestly. I can't remember, I played as a kid, but yeah, Mengs definitely intentionally left Kerrigan to die. Is she holding a sword? I think she actually has a sword and a goblet in her hand. That's very interesting. A goblet being a, or some, yeah, I think it's a goblet. You know, from, what's that? What's the Grail, or it's a Grail or a goblet. One of the two. It could be the Holy Grail. Took some shield. Who knows? Looks like red team is gearing up for another attack. They got the web weavers. So the web weaver also only goes as far as the lane is pushed. So when Sylvanas was pushing bottom lane, she wanted to get this web weaver as forward as she possibly could. As you can see, bottom lane is pushed further, so distance-wise, the bottom web weaver is actually in a better position to kill that fort much earlier. Looks like there's another good team fight going on. So that was a good play by Sylvanas. E.T.C being focused down really strong. Looks like Uther's taken out, followed by Kerrigan. They have both been taken out. Blue team looks like they're doing wonderful. Anub'arak having some great micro there. Oh wow. Tassadar getting completely rooted by Malfurion. An excellent play by blue team. Really turning this game around once again. This is such a close game. Looks like Muradin is in a lot of trouble. I don't know if he'll be able to get away. Excellent leap. Oh man, so close. He is about to die. Wow, he is taken out. Living bomb dealing excellent damage. The web weavers are still up though in the top and bottom lanes. Blue team should be quick to remove them. Malfurion using his entangling roots and Moonfire to clear up the bottom lane. Well, this one is left uncontested for the time being. Well, it looks like Kael's coming to get rid of it. Very cool. Now that the very cool spawn animation. So these bruisers, they have very small heads compared to the rest of their body. Very interesting. Those swords also look very cool. So I was trying to like come up with like what universe each map is like coming from, because I don't know if you all have seen like maybe images of the new map, but it's supposed to be like a Diablo themed map. And I'm like, well, if it's Diablo themed, then the rest of the maps have to have other themes too, right? And I was like, this is a Warcraft 3 Sylvanas themed map, because like this is the map that came with the patch, right? But I really can't think of like I don't know where this would really fall. I feel like this is just like a Heroes of the Storm map. Wow, I never knew there was a guardian zombie kind of chilling out down there doing his zombie walk to meet up with his zombie family. Nope, he went back. I guess they're just guarding the gold that's going on down here. It's a lot of gold down there. There's also a swirling pit of doom right over there. Looks like red team is together for the most part. Muradin lagging behind a bit. It kind of reminds me of Lord of the Rings, where Gimli's always like falling behind everyone else. That's what that reminded me of right there briefly. Alright, it looks like the blue team is clearing out the bruisers that were mid, and red team, Uther being an excellent spotter, he'll see any sort of transition between here, and it looks like he does see the Anub'arak. He doesn't see E.T.C, but it did alert his team. Tassadar a little bit out of position, he could take some serious damage. His shield is down, very vulnerable. Decides to use the ultimate. Oh boy, Tassadar might be going down very soon. Wow, nice kill, Tassadar. Uther grabbing the ultimate on Muradin. Tassadar did end up falling. Blue team's in a lot of trouble. They are down 2 members. I'm sorry, the red team is down 2 members. Kerrigan looks like she might be able to get away. Sylvanas was taken out. She was down here. She got taken out like right there. Oh boy. Looks like red team is in a lot of trouble. But you know what? That was only one team fight. It's been going back and forth. If you remember, red team... Actually, this is the second fight red team lost, so it's actually looking a little bit scary for red team. They've lost the last 2 team fights. They're down 1 level. And this is actually a very important level. If you look at their level 20s, red team is now equipped and ready. Kael'thas and Jaina both grabbing Bolt of the Storm. Very necessary. Kael is a very cumbersome hero, not able to always escape. So that Bolt of the Storm gives him the extra survivability that he desperately needs. Jaina, the same thing. She does not. Actually, Jaina has sprint as well. Jaina is definitely equipped to escape. Sprint is very valuable, always good pick. This looked like it could be GG. Red team keeps losing their heroes, and if they can't fight as 5, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble. We're going to see what blue team does, though, because they are all a little bit low on HP. They may just withdraw. That was an excellent pickoff, though. They are still up 5 heroes, but yeah, their health is pretty low. E.T.C, the only one having decent health, and he's not much of a damage dealer. It would be very risky. They're also going back to turn in. As you can see, 22, 17, 17, 15, and 6. All of the blue team members have a large amount of gems. Red team not necessarily in a position to contest. Excellent scouting drone by, I believe, Malfurion. Yes, he got the scouting drone. Excellent scouting drone. So they knew exactly what was up. Great turn in, blue team really starting to turn things around. I think they have one of the keeps, and when a keep dies, the enemy team starts spawning these catapults, and these catapults means that if you do not otherwise help the lane, then it will constantly be pushed, potentially all the way up to your core, where the core will most likely defend it, 90% of the time. But it becomes very, very hard for your lane to be pushed out. So as you can see, red team is compensating for that fact and pushing it. They should definitely stick around and get rid of this web weaver, as it does not seem to be defended. They'll have to eliminate this one too. It's always actually, if you think about it, holding and pushing with your middle lane is probably the best decision you could possibly do, because the enemy team wants to clear the 2 web weavers that are not defended, right? So it's hard to go from bottom to top. It's much easier to go from bottom to middle, and that would and so this top one, it's much harder to go from bottom to top, meaning pushing with this middle one forces the enemy team to have kind of an awkward angle. It looks like they're not even going to clear the top one, and they're just going to do this team fight, meaning this top web weaver has free reign over the this keep. We're going to have to see what happens though. These 5 blue heroes apparently are not pushing the issue. Red team finally going back up top and clearing that web weaver. Certainly a necessary maneuver. The middle web weaver was actually killed in the engagement. It looks like blue team might be interested in stealing their camp. We're gonna have to see though, because that is a very greedy play. Looks like that Tassadar Sidestorm did manage to force the engagement. Red team does have an opportunity to move in here, because blue team is in the middle of fighting these mercenaries. We're gonna see what happens. It looks like blue team and red team are fighting. Sylvanas getting out of there with Bolt of the Storm, an excellent play, taking lots of damage from Kael. Looks like blue team very high health, red team all taking a decent amount of damage, and the camp goes to blue. That was a very powerful fend up by blue team. Blue team looking very strong right now. Red team pushed all the way back to their base. We're going to have to see what happens. Each team has 5v5. Oh, Uther being caught completely out of position and dying very quickly. Red team having an advantage. We're going to have to see what happens. Tassadar popping his Archon mode. Uther giving Kerrigan his ulti, making her invulnerable. Very awesome burst down on Anub'arak. That was crazy. Sylvanas really the only one that's low right now. Oh, she's taking a lot of damage from Jaina's one elemental, but that dies. Looks like red team is in an excellent position to bring themselves back into this game. If they could take a keep, that is what they would love. That would be ideal. We're going to have to see what they choose to do with this opportunity of E.T.C and Anub'arak being out of the game right now for about 40 seconds. This keep should be fairly easy to take out. Sylvanas disabling it with her Shadow Dagger. Looks like red team doesn't want to commit with this, even though it would be a 4v3. They are not confident. Oh, it looks like Tassadar is actually not there, so it is, yeah, a 4v3. Wow, Muradin taking lots of damage. He looks like he is not in a situation to fight right now, in a good position to fight. Tassadar cleaning up bottom lane, that bottom lane, always having the catapults, losing that cape, being a big moderator in this game. Making, forcing people to go to certain areas. Looks like Sylvanas wants to take the bottom siege camp. Blue team, however, seems to know that something is up in the bottom lane. Sylvanas, not having the best of vision, only up to here. She just now knows Jaina's here. Running immediately, Jaina using her ultimate and blizzard. Sylvanas getting out of there very fast. Bolt of the Storm certainly used by Kerrigan. That seemed, yes, very good escape by both players. Bolt of the Storm being a very popular level 20, even chosen by Malfurion, as opposed to Ice Block, I believe. Oh no, he chose Ice Block as well. So Malfurion, I haven't seen very many Ice Blocks, but it hasn't been necessary. The team has been doing a very good job. Malfurion hasn't really been the target. E.T.C has actually been the target, or Kael. Kael might go down here. He's in a bit of an awkward situation. Kerrigan getting bursted very nicely, but saved by Uther's ult is very nice. Kael is, in fact, being the target in this fight. Kerrigan as well. Kerrigan going to go down before Kael, and then next it looks like Uther is taken out next. Massive damage on blue team. Muradin might be the next to go down. Nice, he's got almost a full heal. Jaina staying alive. It looks like Tassadar's in a lot of trouble, taking lots of damage. He's trapped by Kael. Kael completely wrecking him. That was an awesome play. Muradin and Uther. Uther coming back to life because of his level 20 redemption pick, I believe. Yes, redemption. He needs to be careful though, because that's again within the next 180 seconds that he is dead for good, and he gets that around minute res timer. Blue team 11-23, really turning this game around. Red team had a very strong advantage, but it looks like blue team is in a situation, position where they can win the entire game. Uther dying again, he is out for the count, and it looks like they are going to completely take out the core. Muradin being the only one who can stop them, and it just does not look like he has the firepower to do it. Uther calling GG. Looks like his form of surrender, and it looks like there's nothing that blue team can do, or I'm sorry, red team can do to stop this advance. This has been an excellent game. I was not sure who was going to win this. A very awesome exchange by both players on both teams. That was quite an excellent game. I would love to hear your thoughts on, basically what happened in this game. I thought it was pretty awesome. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it. If you want to get updated when more videos come out, then please subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys next time. If you ever want to send me replays, you can look in the description section below. My email is AdmiralChonga@gmail.com, and I will cast your replays. That would be awesome. See you guys next time.